Thank you for tuning in. I'm Bill Potter with the WJTS News. 3 have been arrested in Washington after a large amount of meth was found. On Thursday, Washington Police Department stopped Bonnie Irvin of Washington for multiple traffic infractions. Also in the car were Shane Floyd and Carl Bolin Jr., both of Washington. During the stop, officers found nearly 50 grams of crystal meth, which had a street value of nearly $5,000. Officers also found a loaded handgun, multiple controlled substance pills, synthetic marijuana, and paraphernalia. Floyd was arrested on charges of conspiracy to deal methamphetamine, a level 2 felony, unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon, a level 4 felony, possession of Schedule 4 controlled substance as well. Bolin was arrested on charges of conspiracy to deal methamphetamine, a level 2 felony, possession of a handgun without a license by a felon, a level 5 felony, and dealing a Schedule 4 controlled substance. Irvin was arrested on charges of conspiracy to deal methamphetamine, a level 2 felony, and possession of a handgun without a license by a felon, a level 5 felony. All parties are innocent until proven guilty. If you're going to be driving around Jasper next week, here are a few streets you may want to avoid. The Jasper Street Department says that West 19th Street, 400 feet west of the intersection with Emily Street, is closing at 8 a.m. on Monday, September 21st, for street improvement. Motorists will not have access to this portion of 19th Street. The project is expected to last for about 3 weeks, depending on the weather or any other unforeseen events. And the Jasper Street Department and their contractor, Pavement Solutions, is also starting a pavement preservation project at 8 a.m. on Wednesday, September 23rd on various streets. We will list the streets here in a moment. All vehicles must be removed from the affected streets and out of driveways. Residents will not be allowed to drive on the streets during the process. The street being processed should be reopened by each evening, depending on the drying conditions. All residents will be notified by a door hanger the day before their street is processed. There will also be switching from street to street as they dry, and traffic flow will be assessed. The following streets will be affected: Robert Street from 13th to 14th Street, Wilson Street from 13th to 14th Street, Dorbit Street from 13th to 14th, 5th Street from Clay Street to St. John Street, 5th Street from St. John to Scott Rowland Drive, 5th Street from Scott Rowland Drive to U.S. Highway 231, Scott Rowland Drive from 5th Street to South End, and St. John Street from 4th Street to 6th Street, also Howard Drive from Northwood Avenue to 33rd Street. The project is expected to be completed by the evening of Friday, September 25th, barring inclement weather or any other unforeseen events. If you didn't catch the streets listed, I know it's hard to do, please visit our website, WJTS.tv, for that listing. An award-winning charity group is returning this weekend. We'll Read and Sing for Food is reuniting for the first time since December of 2018 for a Lincoln Amphitheater performance and fundraiser on Saturday at 6 p.m. Central. The performance will feature humor writer Scott Salmon and Abby Rumbach, as well as musicians Debbie Sheeter, Kyle Leakin, Mark Stezik, and Rafaela Campetti Shake. Indiana Poet Laureate Matthew Graham will be a special guest. From 2011 to 2018, We'll Read and Sing for Food, a mix of live music and funny stories, raised over $162,000 for dozens of charities in southern Indiana. Tickets are limited to less than 1/5 of the venue's seating capacity to ensure extreme social distance is maintained. Tickets can be purchased at LincolnAmphitheater.com, and that's amphitheater with an R-E at the end, not E-R. U.S. Senator Mike Braun and others in Washington have worked to create a way for animals to be protected the best way they can. Braun and Senator Sheldon Whitehouse have introduced a bipartisan Animal Cruelty Enforcement Act to ensure that the federal government has a dedicated office for the enforcement of animal cruelty statutes. The Animal Cruelty Enforcement Act creates, by statute, a dedicated Animal Cruelty Crimes Division at the Department of Justice to aid in the investigation, enforcement, and subsequent prosecution of felony animal cruelty crimes. It also requires the Department of Justice to report annually on the progress made enforcing animal cruelty statutes. Within the last 2 years, several animal welfare statutes signed into law have expanded the depth of animal cruelty laws on the federal books. The Preventing Animal Cruelty and Torture Act, the Parity in Animal Cruelty Enforcement Act and the Pet and Women's Safety Act have added new laws to the federal code. These laws were passed with the bipartisan support for the purposes of addressing animal cruelty issues head on, recognizing the body of research that closely links violence against animals with violence against humans. To ensure that these laws are adequately enforced across the country, the federal government must have dedicated staff to ensure adequate enforcement across the board. Over the past several years, the Department of Justice has taken steps to invest significant amounts of attorney time into reviewing reports of animal cruelty and investigating cases. However, given the influx of laws on the books, they say that it was important that a dedicated section be established. The Du Bois County Health Department has confirmed 6 new cases of COVID-19 today. Du Bois County now has a total of 927 positive cases. Out of these 927 positive cases, approximately 90 cases are currently active, and 819 have recovered. 18 deaths have also been reported as well. And this reminder, the best way to keep yourself and others protected is by practicing social distancing, washing your hands frequently, and to wear a mask in public or at gatherings. Indiana's Health Commissioner, Dr. Christina Bach, says she thinks Halloween can happen this year in Indiana, though there will be some changes.
I think there's a lot of safe ways to do it. Again, I don't think big Halloween parties with lots of kids at one time is a good idea, but we'll try to come out with some more direction or advice prior to that time. And again, it will depend on what each county looks like. Where are their numbers, and what does the local health and public health and elected officials feel comfortable with?
Bach said many communities with low coronavirus numbers won't have to change much, but communities with higher numbers will. Her advice for trick-or-treating is that parents hand out candy this year and that they wash their hands between each group of candy seekers. Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb is warning Hoosiers to take the upcoming flu season seriously amid the coronavirus pandemic. In a press conference, Holcomb said mask use has been slowing the spread of COVID-19 and will also help to prevent spreading the flu.
The flu plus COVID, making sure that we don't overwhelm our hospital network.
Holcomb complimented Hoosiers who follow health and safety protocol to prevent people from getting sick and maintaining a low rate of spread. Indiana is the top state in the nation for increasing the number of children adopted from foster care. Governor Eric Holcomb and U.S. Administration of Children and Families Assistant Secretary Lynn Johnson made the announcement at the State House on Thursday. The state was also awarded an Adoption and Legal Guardianship Incentive Award of more than $4.7 million. This funding will go towards enhancing the state's child welfare system. Holcomb made increasing adoptions a priority of his next level agenda. In 2019, 2,489 Hoosier children were adopted through the Indiana Department of Child Services. And now stay tuned. Weather, sports, and more are coming up on the 18 WJTS News.